Hey y'all, so I just got done filming what I spent this month in February and then budgeting and forecasting for March. And before we hop into the video, I want to say that this is not a video where I'm asking for anyone's advice. Like, please do not tell me whether you think I should stay in my apartment or not, what I should do, what should now, if you have resources or anybody else on YouTube who you think budgets well and is also unemployed, I'm open ears to that. So I just want to preface that. Now let's get into the video. Hey y'all, so it is now the end of February, and typically around this time of the month I go through my spending, what I've spent for the month, and I kind of forecast and plan for what I plan to spend in March. Now I've done this regardless of if I've had a job or not, probably for the last, I would say like 2 or 3 years when I've gotten like really serious about my finances. But I thought it would be really helpful to kind of film this process now that I am jobless and kind of like transitioning between incomes. My friend always says this thing, she's like, I'm in between blessings. So that's literally what I'm in between now. So I was like, I think it'll be really good to go through how much I've spent in each of my categories, as well as plan and kind of enter some things into my budget tracker for March. I have like my planner, which sometimes I'll write in, but typically I have this spreadsheet that's on my computer. And so I'll go through my Chase app, look at all of my spending, enter into this budget, and it'll tell me like how much I spent on food, household appliances, well, not household appliances, but household like toiletries and dishwashing liquid and toilet paper and things like that, as well as like beauty, fashion, you know, all the sorts. So I'm going to go through my Chase app. I've been really avoiding with going through my Chase app, so I haven't been spending as much since I've become unemployed. I think it'll be just helpful to go through what I've spent on this month, where I can cut back down. Instantly in my mind, the first thought is Ubers. I've definitely taken a lot of Ubers this month, and that's because I've gone out at night. So I don't drive at night because I can't see, so I take Ubers, which is typically why I don't go out at night. I'm gonna go through my Chase app now, and I'm gonna put everything in this budget tracker, and then I'm gonna come back and let you guys know what I've spent this month so far, and then we'll go through what I'm forecasting for March.
And everything to get low fasting. I don't care how much you knew me in the past tense. I ain't no Julian style, this ain't no last dance. Way past it. Way. You know my ex cause he validate me. You never check, I don't want no receipt. I ain't get possessed, let my spirit speak freely. Hey, my past can't escape me. Why proceed?
So while this isn't the worst damage I've done in a month, I'm still just a little bit like, dang girl, you could have like limited a little bit when you figured out that you weren't gonna have a job. And that was what, 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. Start with the fun stuff. So typically I budget around $100 to $200 for like eating out and fun. And I mean eating out and fun as in like going to restaurants, trying new experiences, all of that. I budget $200. This month I spent a total of $258 on going out and fun, which $58 over, but that's like $58. So I'm like, okay, where did all that money go to? But I definitely know like I have family in town, so I went out for dinner, and you guys know how it is splitting those bills, splitting those checks when you eat. And then it's like also like, because I'm unemployed, I'm supposed to sit in the house, like I'm supposed to not live life. That's not true. I went $58 over my eating out and fun budget. For shopping, I budget around $150 a month, and I went over that by $41. And honestly, where I think I spent the most money there, which I know, is I went to Sephora twice. That's all I have to say. I went to Sephora twice, and typically I go to Sephora like early in the morning so no one's there, so it gives me time to browse and not be overstimulated. So I'm like, ooh, I can pick up new product, and I can sit here and look at a TikTok about it and research it and convince my own self to buy it. Like the workers don't even have to convince me. So I went to Sephora twice. I also went to Uniqlo because I wanted to get some cute little shapewear. I got 2 packs, and I was like, girl, why you need two shapewear? Why you need 2 shapewear? So I actually need to go retire one of those shapewear. I also have like my tithes and how much I give to church, which I probably won't go into that because I don't really consider that a part of my budget, but I keep it here to track how much I'm giving to the church. So let's go into my household expenses. So with my household expenses, I'm gonna put together rent. I don't have in-unit laundry. We have like a laundry unit downstairs where we have to pay, so I'm factoring in rent, laundry, Wi-Fi, as well as electric. I don't pay for gas here. With all of those, that came up to a whopping total of actually not that much. So then where's all my money going to if it's not to like live? So with rent, paying for washing, paying for like electric and Wi-Fi, that all came up to $1,100. That's so crazy to say. $1,100. That's how much everything came up to. I will say that my comment bill and my electric bill were through the roof this month. And I really don't know why. Typically my Wi-Fi bill is like around $15. And this month it was $33. I have no idea why. You know what? Actually, I think I paid this month and next month. So hopefully I don't have a bill next month. Let's hope. And then my ComEd was also like $5 more. So that was a little off too, but I didn't really look into it. So the next category that I went way over my budget, which I said a little bit early in the video, is definitely my car and gas expenses. I kind of lump all those together. How much I pay for gas, ride share, I'm paying for the parking app, and basically any other expenses that have to do with like driving a car or getting from point A to point B. For my car expenses, I budget around $200 a month, and typically in a month I never get over that. Like I'll put $30 in my car and that'll last me for a week and a half, if that, because I was working remote and was home. So the fact that I've gotten over this car expense budget is beyond me. I'm literally like kind of like Ayana. So I spent $245.10. And like I said, I know that that was ride share. Like each of these Ubers, which is about 4 of them, each of those Ubers were between $17 and $19 each way. Like going there and coming back, which may not seem like a lot for some people, but as somebody who has a car, I'm like, I have a car. Why am I also paying for Uber when I just put gas in my car? Literally. So I went over that budget by what, $45, and I'm just like, ooh. But I also will say, adding on to that, I did get a $50 parking ticket for not paying the meter. And what's so crazy about it is my dad's always like, because every time I get a ticket, it goes back to the house, and he's like, why do you keep getting these tickets? Don't you know that this is stupid tax? And I was like, and it wasn't until he kept saying it, and I'm like, is he calling me stupid? And I was like, a little bit. But then he was like, you gotta understand it, like it costs what, $5 max to pay for the meter. You're paying 5 times more when you get a ticket. And it took me a long time. Literally last year I had like $300 worth of tickets because I was just like, I'm not paying this meter. I'm not paying this meter. And then after the I just kept having to pay tickets, and they kept doubling. I was like, I'd rather give them the $5 than to be paying $300 in tickets. So I did get a $50 parking ticket that much. So that actually put me $95 over my budget. So $295, $10, $95 over my car expenses is honestly truly crazy to me. Another category that I went over was my gym membership. I was doing ClassPass in January, and I also had a month where I didn't pay my gym membership, but they let you go for like 3 months, and it just started to accumulate, and then the annual fee came on, and then by the time I tried to go to the gym, she was like, girl, I can't let you in. And I was like, okay, I guess I gotta pay it. How much? She said $171. And typically my gym membership is $28 a month. So that was something I was just like, okay, girl. Ended up paying $171 for my gym membership, but that's all caught up now, and now I will not miss a payment. So you live and you learn. So the gym membership was definitely something that I went over budget with. I'm also traveling, so I paid $200 from my portion of the Airbnb. I was doing core power yoga and I canceled a class an hour before, so they charged me a $15 fee. So that's another deduction. And then I sent $100 into my investment banking account. I know some people talk about like how much they get paid on YouTube, and because I am like a real small YouTuber, this month's check was like typically what type of check I get, and this month's YouTube check was $111.28. So it's typically around that mark for me for how much I make from YouTube at this point. Obviously the intention is to grow that number, so definitely helpful in a time like this. I paid $600 to both of my credit cards. My subscriptions are pretty low. I only pay for Spotify and Apple, which that comes up to about $16 a month. I really miss the days when I was in college and Spotify used to be like $5. So my subscriptions are pretty low, and that's like pretty standard for me. So my best friend is Heaven Sent, and she gave me a 2-year Netflix gift card, so I have Netflix free for the next 2 years. She is so amazing for that. She really is. And so my subscriptions are pretty low. As far as my business expenses with Friends Table, I keep that really separate because it's business and I don't really consider it as like takeaway or income. So for groceries, I have budgeted $250 a month, and I actually saved some money there. So I spent $188 this month in groceries, which is on brand because I eat the same thing. I literally eat chicken, rice, and a vegetable. My aunt will literally call me and be like, "What'd you have for dinner?" She'd be like, "Let me guess, chicken, rice, and a vegetable." Or if not chicken, rice, and a vegetable, some type of fish, rice, and a vegetable. So yeah, I eat the same thing every day. Like I'll, switch up the chicken, switch up the fish, switch up the vegetable, but for the most part, it's pretty standard every day. Last but not least is my phone bill. So my phone bill is $70 a month, and that's just pretty standard. I hope this was helpful. So I will total everything up and either put it here or here, but most likely here. So with that, I'm going to move into March, and I've gotten some of my bills, like, this is how much your bill is for next month. So I'm gonna factor that in and kind of see how much I'm planning on spending for March. Since my bills are pretty standard month to month, I'm looking to spend around $2,300 next month for bills, but this is also not including my travels, any other expenses that may come up. But I'm actually gonna increase that just because I know that I'm traveling. I'm gonna take it up to about $2,600 next month. So I'm budgeted to spend about $2,600, which to me, when I see other budgeting videos, I feel like I kind of really live below my means for the most part. I think you guys have seen my video previously where I talked about my apartment and that kind of situation with my landlord, but really the fact that my rent is so low, which is such a blessing, is what really helps contribute to me being able to maintain my bills. So yeah, that's about it. I have a contracted gig lined up for this month. It's a seasonal thing, so it'll come, it'll go, but it's definitely extra income, so I'm feeling happy there. And yeah, I hope this was helpful for anyone who is looking to know about budgets, or if you just want to be nosy and see about my budgets. We are spending less this year. I mean, I literally have no major travels. Do I believe myself? I don't have any major travels, but I definitely know as far as like Lyfts, Uber, eating out, and shopping, those things can definitely be limited. And like I've even done things like the sew-in. I did my sew-in myself. My nails, I do my nails myself. My lashes myself. And so I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling really happy. I was pretty scared because I was like, I feel like I overspent, which in some areas I definitely overspent, but for the most part I felt really good about it. So any tips or tricks or any resources, I'm open to hearing what you guys have to say. But don't give me any advice on what you think I should do, because I don't want you to tell me what you think I should do, if I should leave my apartment. Like, I don't want to hear that, and those comments will get ignored. Now, if you have any resources on like someone talked about, I think like rental assistance here in Chicago, anything that can help, send it my way. But any advice where you're telling me what you think I should do with my life, I don't want to hear that. So thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I will see you guys in my next one.